Guys, welcome back to A Built In Process. In today's episode, we're working on this Mustang. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so basically this is my fiance's 2010 Ford Mustang. It's a V6. See that little V6 right there? I want to say it's the 4.0. This is 2010. I think in 2011 they went to the 3.8. But yeah, it's convertible. It's got, I think it's the California edition or some kind of edition because it's got leather interior. It's got the ambient lighting, the chrome, and basically all the appearance package in the interior. I'm not sure what kind of package it is. I want to say it's a California package, but it's got the gauges, the ambient lighting, the nice tan interior. It's a good car. It's in good shape. Well, I guess decent shape. It's got a couple dents. So, but yeah, man, today we're gonna be working on the brakes, and we're gonna be starting off with the rear brakes. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So we're getting started on the rear brakes. The rear brakes are not that bad, honestly. You just gotta start taking off your wheel. And check this out, man. It was definitely time for me to do these brakes, cause you see all this right here. That's all like brake crud. The rotor was basically falling apart. You see all these lines? It was making this horrible grinding noise as we were driving. So it was definitely time for me to change these brakes. So let me take this wheel off, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, guys, we went ahead and took the wheel off. That was a pain in the butt because it actually had lug nuts, and my fiance lost the key, so I had to remove it with a smaller socket. That was pretty hard. But anyways, check out these rotors, man. They are horrible. I don't know if you guys can see the pad. There's like no pad left. So definitely don't let your brakes get this bad. I've honestly been slacking on this car, but you guys have seen it in the channel. It's kind of been in the background. Eventually I'm gonna get started on it. It's actually a 2010 Mustang V6, so hopefully one day I'll get to 5.0 swap it and yada yada yada. But yeah, man, I'm actually checking out the suspension, and it's a lot similar like the F bodies. Like, I remember the new age Mustangs, I think their suspension setup was a little bit different. Like the springs, I want to say, are actually sitting like on top of the control arm. Like it's got like some like a mount or something right here, and that's where the springs sit. And I think the struts are located somewhere else too. So it was a weird design to me, but this, it looks like they went like to the F-body design where the shocks are actually mounted on your axle, springs are sitting on the axle. It's got lower control arms, so it's got a panhard bar. So it's really similar to F-bodies, man. It only took Ford, what, 10 years to catch up? Shots fired, right? No, I'm just kidding, guys. I like all cars: Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you name it. Honda's, imports, Toyota. I'm just a car guy. But eventually, man, I got big plans for this car. Hopefully eventually we'll make this car look good. But yeah, man, let me get back to the brakes. So the brakes, super easy to change out, just like F bodies. You're gonna have two bolts right here, one in the bottom. You just undo them, and then you're gonna have the ones holding the caliper bracket on, which is the same thing, a bolt here and a bolt there in the bottom. Since I'm gonna be replacing the pads and the rotors, I'm gonna go ahead and undo these right here, or at least try to, and then the rotor should just kind of slide out after some persuading. And yeah, man, I'll pick this back up once it goes all back together. Basically what I've been doing, I've been struggling trying to compress the piston on the brake caliper. It was really hard, but I was finally able to compress it. Let me see if I can show you guys a shot. See, it's all flush now. And let me actually give you guys a tech tip. I had to go get this tool, which is basically what this does. It compresses the piston in your caliper, because when you're doing brake pads, over time the pad wears down and gets skinnier, so that piston comes out further. You have to actually push it back in order for you to put your pads, because obviously your pads are gonna be thicker. See, look at all that chunky meat. Compare, I don't even want to touch it, to no meat. So anyways, I needed this tool, and the tech tip that I'm gonna give you guys is you can actually go to basically any auto parts store. I know for a fact AutoZone, Advanced AutoZone, O'Reilly's, I want to say, you can actually rent tools from them basically for free. So basically how this works, you call them up, you ask for the certain tool that you need. If they have it in stock, or if it's not rented out, they're gonna tell you they have it. You go into the store, you pay for basically the tool. This was 60 bucks, but whenever you're done with it, you can return it and they'll give you your money back. They'll give you the $60 back, as long as the tool is not damaged, and you can keep it for as long as you want, as long as you save your receipt on this, obviously, and then when you go in there, you just return it. So that's a quick little tech tip that I'm gonna give you guys. It's pretty cool. This is basically the old setup, old crusty rotor, about to fall apart. Pads are all bad compared to the new shiny rotor, fresh pads. And this is basically all the tools that you're gonna need to do a simple brake job. You need, your sockets. In this Mustang case, you're gonna need a 15 and a 13. That's to remove your brake caliper. Basically, the rotor some rotors have like locking tabs. These did not, so they just slid out. And then you put everything in reverse order. Before you put your new rotors in, you want to make sure that you use some brake cleaner on them, because they're gonna be dirty. I actually just cleaned that one, like it just came out of the box, and I cleaned it. Let me see if I can show you guys how dirty it was. See, that's all that dirt on that rotor. So you definitely want to clean your rotors before you install them. That way they make the pads seat right with the rotor or whatever. You're also gonna need some WD-40 in case sometimes your bolts are real tight on there, because water's been getting on the bolts, so dirt, rust, and they're really a pain in the butt to remove. So you're gonna need some WD-40 to help you out. Yeah, that's basically it. Most of the time you don't even need this tool. I usually, how I compress the pistons and the calipers, I just use my old pads and then just pry something in between, and that's how you can compress the piston and the caliper. But in this case, man, this sucker was on there, so I had to get this tool. Just no big deal. So let me pick it up once everything's back together. Like that, you're done. Make sure you torque your bolts to the specific torque that your vehicle calls for. But yeah, that's basically how you do new rotors and pads on a 2010 Mustang. For the most part, really a whole bunch of cars. So I know it's the same thing on F bodies, trucks. So basically the same on every single one of them. Just gotta take your time. Super easy job. So that's the rear. I'm obviously gonna be doing the other side. Gonna do that side right there, and then I'm gonna do the fronts. I might try to add it all in one video, but if it gets too long, I might make 2 videos. So yeah, I'll check back with you guys once I'm all finished up. And we're all finished, guys. I'm about to take it for a cruise so I can set the brakes in. I'm basically gonna put the instructions how to bedding brake pads, just like this. You guys can pause the video This basically tells you how to do it. You have to get up to 60 miles per hour and perform a couple stops. Don't come to a full stop, and that's basically how you're gonna set in your new brake pads and rotors. So again, let me go ahead and get that done, and I'll check back once I am finished. Alright guys, so I'm bitting in the brakes. Let me show you guys how to do it. Basically, we're gonna do this about 8 to 7 times. Get up to like 60 miles per hour, and then just brake hard. Make sure there's no cars behind you, but don't come all the way to a stop. I usually come to like a 10 or a 20. And I'm just gonna do that about 6, 7 times, maybe 7, 8 times. You just want to make sure you don't come to a complete stop. That way you're basically bedding in your pads. So we're gonna get it up to 60 miles per hour again. Come on, little B6. Now that we're 60, we're gonna try to come to a stop. All the way like that. But don't come to a complete stop. You're basically bedding in your brakes. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and then I'll check back with you guys once I'm home. Alright guys, we're back from the drive. The car's driving amazing. Stops way better. Stay tuned for the front. I'm actually gonna do another video. And thank you guys for stopping by. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all that, and I really appreciate your support.